Hi everybody, it's Yazzie here, and I have a reading for you. But, as always, I purify and cleanse this space and remove and banish all negativity, negative energies, negative entities of the sorts, and I ask and invite in the gods and goddesses, archangels, guardian angels, deities, entities, spirits, spiritual teams, spiritual guides, ancestors, ascended masters, our higher selves, and the universe to be present. And I ask that they please purify the tools in which I use, the cards, and myself, so that the message comes through clearly and with clarity for the collective this evening. Please and thank you. Okay, so I was in the middle of a healing before this, and I had a channeled message come in where it said, when we want to make changes within the world, we must first heal within ourselves. For when we are healed within ourselves, the world will then reflect what is within us, around us. And what that means is that we can want to make changes in the world outside of us. And while we cannot control others and what others do, we can, however, control what is within ourselves and heal what is within us in order for changes to be made or to take place within our lives and within the world around us. 132 as I say that. Also, if nothing in my messages resonates with you, or if the entire message does not resonate, then that's okay. More than likely it's not your message and there's nothing wrong with that. But that was the channeled message that I got through just before I actually hopped on here. So it's just something to think about, and it kind of relates to the reading that I did before this, my 1-minute readings that I do. So it's kind of along the same lines. But what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to use the traditional tarot deck today, and what we're going to do is we're going to see what's going on in your path. What's going to happen? What do we need to know as far as your life and how things are going to proceed? So what's going on with the collective today? What's needing to be known? What do we need to know in the cards? Also, the colors green and purple are significant as well. Purple, of course, is the crown chakra. So maybe you may need to kind of connect a bit more with the universe. All right. We have the Hanged Man, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Seven of Swords. I swear, this card comes out so often. It's insane. Okay. What do we have at the bottom? We have the Chariot at the bottom. We're going to start with these three first, 313, and then we're going to go from there. So take a different approach. Look from a different perspective is what I heard. So while you may be enthusiastic, 333 as I say this, you're enthusiastic about some things you need to find, go and find your passion again. Like figure out 345 what brought that spark into your life. But don't deceive yourself as far as that goes. So say like perhaps you had a dream as a child, or you may have had a goal even as an adult, like you don't have to, or even as a teenager, either way. Maybe you had this dream or this lifelong goal, but of course, because life happens and because things change and you have to kind of focus 414 on different things in life. But that doesn't mean that you can't go back and revisit it and see if it still gives you that spark. And I'm pretty sure I've had a reading about this before as well. This seems familiar. But don't sell yourself short is what I just heard. So like don't let that inner critic get to you, which is part of the reading I did before this one as well. 444 as I say that. So it's the universe is really getting on to you making a final decision on what you really want. 456 as I say that. And with the Chariot here, as well. This is a card where you just go for it, you're moving into it, but it's also a card where, yes, there is sort of that balance, because you see the sphinxes here, where it's like a yin and yang. My goodness, you may be getting tongue-tied. 515. Where it's a yin and yang, a light and dark. But also, this is a card where you're going for it because you know exactly what you want. There's no stalling when the chariot is going through. There's no stops along the way, as far as like, once they got the goal, they're going for it kind of deal. Like, there might be some challenges, but that's not going to stop the chariot as far as that goes. And I can't help but notice that under the chariot we have the 10 of Cups as well. You seem to be 555. This is what you're aiming for, that emotional happiness, that stability, the end of the rainbow kind of deal. 606, as I say that, like all of that happiness. Connect more is what I just heard. So 616. So maybe you may need to kind of connect a little bit more with your emotions. It could be that they may be a bit suppressed and possibly repressed, as far as that goes. But in order for you to get to that 10 of Cups, you have to come to that point where you are going to have to acknowledge them at some point. So don't repress this kind of deal. That is part of it. And of course, underneath that is the 9 of Pentacles, which is the physical end. Well, it's some sort of completion and cycle that's completed in your physical life. So at least, you know, when it comes to your materials, there are things that they're balanced out, is what I just heard. So you're in that good lifestyle, but there are some things which, with the Hanged Man, the Page of Wands, and the 7 of Swords, where you're still getting caught up. You still feel like you have this sense of where you feel like you're not worthy of these things. You're undeserving of these things. And that's something where, that's the imposter syndrome. That's the inner critic in the back of your mind telling you, no, you can't. Or your ego getting in the way, or your insecurities and fears, when really you are deserving. Because again, we have the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles. So whatever it is that you want to do, you are worthy, regardless of what it is. And here we have the Fool that just came out. What else do we have? Oop. We have the Moon, and we have the 5 of Wands. And then we have the 4 of Cups on the bottom of the deck, 808, as I looked up. So, oh, that's why the 5 of Wands is out here. So even though you're having this internal conflict about taking the leap, and that's why the Moon and the 5 of Wands is here, because it's an internal conflict with yourself. You're fighting against things that, like I stated before, emotions that may have been suppressed and repressed. Things that are of the subconscious and of the subconscious mind that's holding you back. And it's keeping you from having faith in the universe, in yourself, sometimes in others, but it's keeping you from taking the leap of faith. Too many what ifs. You're having way too many what ifs that are coming up. And that is the one thing that will always stop you from going after what you deserve. And what that also does is, with the 4 of Cups, it makes you see things in a perspective where you feel that you're not enough. But you are. You're way more than enough. Anything that you want to do and that you set your mind to, you can absolutely do it. 110%, you can do it. It's just a matter of changing that mindset. And I can't help but notice, with the 4 of Cups, we have Temperance as well underneath that. So there's this balance that needs to be had, as far as where you're investing your time and your energy is what I just heard. So you have to try and figure out where is it that you really want to invest your time and energy. You need to figure out on, are you going to go for it or are you going to wait? Oops, we had a card slip out here, the Hermit. Because sure, you can get to it a few months down the line. You could get to it next year. But there's a lot that can happen in a few months or in a year. There's a lot that happens in 24 hours. There's a lot that happens in an hour. So that could easily change on what you can or cannot do at that moment in time. So something to think about as far as, are you going to or aren't you? Kind of deal. Aside from the Hermit, is there anything else that we need to know? Is there anything else that we need to know? Is there anything else? You sure? You positive? Are you absolutely sure? Whoops, sorry. It's getting a little caught up here. Okay. I suppose the Hermit is the last one, but we have the Page of Pentacles on the bottom. So you need to take some time to yourself and figure these things out. You have to find a moment in the day or a place, whichever, where you can actually sit with yourself and go over these things. Heal what needs to be healed. Try to remove all the extra noise, the extra influences, the outside inputs, all of it. And just sit with you, your higher self, the universe, and figure out what needs to be healed, what needs to be worked on, 12-12 as I say that, and what you really want to do and what you want to go for in life. And figure out where you need to be putting your time and energy, 12-23 as I say that as well. Because once you get all that squared away and figured out, you'll have the opportunities, 12-34 as I say that. The opportunities will come to you. You won't have to go out, desperately searching for them, feeling as though this is all that you can get, when you have so much more worth and value within you that you could get and attract so much more than just the bare minimum in everything and anything in life. Okay? Okay. And as I was told, that is all for the reading today. But I hope that this brought you more clarity as far as your path and what's going on and how to proceed. And thank you all again for your support. Thank you all for watching and joining me this evening. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Be safe out there, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.